P. Diddy, dude. That's your boy. The boys with the toys. Hell yeah, dude. Keeping an eye on my fantasy football shit right now. But I want to go live. I want to look at you. I want to feel you all. I want to fill you all with juice. I want to fill you all with all my juices. So we got 22 days, 13 hours, 1 minute and 22 seconds until election day, and I want to know, how do you all feel right now? I'm gonna get a poll. Why do I sound like Chris Hansen? Why do I sound like Chris Hansen? Dateline NBC. I understand what you're saying. She's a 15-year-old girl. But all right. So here's the thing. We're gonna get a poll. I want to ride that pole, by the way. Pole dancing. Porn star dancing. Gonna ride that pole. Yeah, my hair is a little bit messy at the moment, so I'm gonna try to straighten it out. Looks like crap, but we're almost to election day. Donald Trump versus Kamala makes you holla Harris. 22 days before election day. Who will win? I don't know. Subscribe now. All right, we got the poll up. It's either Kamala makes you holla or Donald Trump. Who is winning the election? As Sin Legend says, "Hey dude, what's up?" I say, "Hello." All right, we got 3 votes in. 67% say Donald. No, 75% say Donald Trump. 25% say Harris. Goofy Cat says, "Huh? Why are you talking about the election?" I'm talking about the election because it gives me an erection. A Sin Legend says, "My name is Jimmy," with a heart emoji. Bro. Goofy Cat says, "Oh, okay. Why do I sound so official?" Well, I took a pill of Viagra, and it suddenly boosted my testosterone levels to sound more manly. And I don't know why. And I don't know how. I'm the most official. I am the most qualified, unqualified person to talk. I'm the most qualified, unqualified person to talk about the election. The election. See, I'm just like Kamala. I don't know how to speak. All right. So, Andrea says Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. I'm going with Donald Trump, baby. Donald is my boy, and then Goofy Cat says, "Okay." A Sin Legend says, "Hey, your voice is so cool. I really think I sound like Chris Hansen." Dateline NBC. Today's story is brought to you by I don't know who. He kind of talks like this. He's so sexy. So sexy. And, Chris Hansen is really, he kind of really sounds a little like this. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time listening to Chris Hansen because of those Dateline NBC ones. Let's see. Wonderful Horseshoe says, "Lol, dude, politics is so boring, yet it gives me so many views whenever I talk about Trump Daddy or Kamala makes you holla." Let's see. Andrea says, "Your voice is like a robot." My voice is like a robot. I am AI. I am not AI. What am I? Am I AI? Do I touch this guy? Do I touch your dog? Rana's07 says hi. So I do think that Trump Daddy's going to win. All the Vegas odds are definitely pulling in his favor a lot. I think Vegas is starting to realize just how unpopular Kamala Harris is. The more they do, when they figured out the Democrat and turtle polling, they were like, "Oh shit, Kamala is not winning this." I don't. First off, there's not enough people who are enthusiastic enough about Kamala to even go give her a vote. So those people are not going to give her a vote. They're not going to give Trump a vote. Obviously, they're never Trumpers, but they're also looking at Kamala Harris and being like, "I don't know if I want to vote for this either." So I'm just not going to vote. So I think there's there's a lack of enthusiasm there with Kamala, in my opinion. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Let's see. Mike Gomez says he just wants the people to like him. I think that's great. Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I want to get more eyeballs on me because I feel like I have a lot to offer to the finance community of YouTube. I feel like Jeremy Lefebvre of Financial Education, Meet Kevin, who I call Meet Spin Kevin, Andre Jick, who I also call Andre Deek, and Graham Steffen, who I just call Graham Stevens. Um, Scam Stefan is another word for him. But no, all those guys are the problem with finance YouTube. None of them are honest. At least they're not that honest. I think that there's truth to what they say a lot of the time, but there's also elements of like you can tell the truth, but when you start scamming your audience through lies and Ponzi scheme bullshit like crypto, that's when it gets bad. So I want to be the guy who avoids scamming his audience through crypto and stuff like that. Now, I do want you to send me money, obviously. I'm that kind of guy. I'm going to be like, hey, if you guys want to send me money, if you feel like anything I've told you is useful, that's great. I could actually give you guys an education on a certain portfolio theory. Now, this is not financial advice, but portfolio theory is fun and educational. Always educational when I talk about it. Andreas says, you give us too much information. Andreas, I don't give you enough information. I want to give you so much information that if I was to shove it up your butt, you would never talk to me again. That's the key. My key. But yes, no, the goal here is to give you as much information as possible, let you guys know that diversification is the key to my success in investing. Now, I don't even know if there's such a thing as over diversified because you could be. I think it's good to be. You got to be super exposed to every single asset class that you can get a hold of. And I like to do my exposure through different kinds of ETFs. Now, I got plenty of ETFs that I stockpile in my portfolio. I think deep down, the more diversified you are, the better. I think you want to avoid. I think it's stupid not to be diversified. If you're not diversified, I think you're really ruining. You're ruining yourself a little bit, in my opinion. Diversification is the key. Yeah, that's my philosophy. But let's see what the polls are saying. So you guys are neglecting the polls, man. Don't neglect these polls. Donald, so subscribe now. That's the key. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. That's a big thing. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? One moment. There we go. Trying to solve a problem real quick. All right, people. I'm ready. I'm so ready. OMG. OMG. Yeah. My cockles. If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low. I'll go wherever you will go. So maybe I'll find out. Make sure you guys support the channel by contributing to my Venmo at Garza Brand. If you're enjoying the content. Let's see. Overall, I think that, when it comes to investing, I like to. So this is related to this video, by the way. Me talking about investing, because I think that one candidate will be bad for the economy, and I believe the other will be good. I believe that Donald Trump will be better for the economy. I just do. Things were great under Trump. Inflation was low. It felt like companies were flourishing. He deregulated a lot of stuff. He put some tariffs out there. I think that was the best part about it. So I'm for Trump completely on this one, and I don't see any other outcome. This is actually surprising. So we have 10 votes, and it's a 50-50 split right now. This usually never happens. So subscribe now. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? So 50% of you say Donald Trump. 50% of you say Kamala Harris. Now, the thing is, when it comes down to it, I'm pretty politically neutral. I am Trump-sexual, which means that Donald Trump could run as a Democrat. He could run as a Republican. I would still vote for him because I like his personality. I think he's funny. But most importantly, yes, is his character in question? Sometimes, yes. But is he effective? Yes. That's what I want. Somebody who's effective. and somebody who's going to try to drain the swamp, get rid of all these lifelong politicians, try to encourage people to vote these lifelong politicians out who I believe are ruining the country. Stuff like that. I think that's just kind of needed at this point. But it's really close to election time, and I just think it's really important that we talk about this and try to shove things up my rear end while I'm talking to you guys. And it's crazy that I'm almost monetized though, which is wild. Well, at least I'm almost qualified for monetization, which is a crazy thing in my book. But yeah, the more subscribers we have, the better. We're trying our best to really get more people on board. But yeah, subscribe now. Subscribe now to the channel, please. We need your subscriptions. And but yeah, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? The polls are actually surprisingly, out of 11 votes, we have 45% for Donald and 55% for Kamala. But we just got our 12th vote in for Donald Trump. So 50% say Trump, 50% say Harris. We are at a deadlock right now. Who knows how many bots were voting for Kamala, but we'll see. Bob Sacamano says we LMAO. But yeah, I think the country needs a little bit of Donald Trump, baby. They need some DT in their PP. Well. What we got here? So lately, I've been wondering who will be there to take my place when I'm gone. You need love to light the shadows on your face. Oh wow, we got 15 votes in. 53% of you say Donald Trump. 47% of you say Kamala makes you holla. Harris. Hell yeah. We're only 17 minutes in, and we're seeing more subscriptions. We're at 3,459 subscribers. I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you who subscribed. But yeah, overall, I think what the best in the reason the presidential race matters so much is that it does have something to do with my channel. It has everything to do with this. One, as an investor, as somebody who invests in a lot of different companies and a lot of different things. First off, I think we'd see a market crash. My prediction is, these are my predictions, I think we'd see a market crash under Kamala. That's my thought. And it's an opinion, but it's a healthy one. Because the way I see it is I think she's got too many communist-style proposals. I think her and Walz are very communist in their thinking, very socialist, and I don't like it at all. That bugs me. I don't want to see America turn into a socialist hellhole. Look at what Gavin Newsom has done. Any blue-run cities seem to really go to crap. Now, I'm not saying that all Republican-run cities go well either. There are some that are very questionable indeed. But as far as it goes, though, man, I'm not a fan of what's been going on. Well, as an NFL headline. Oh, Roger Goodell hints at an international Super Bowl? What? Whoa, dude. Wild. So maybe we'll find out. Hey, we need another subscriber, by the way. So, do you want to be the 3,460th subscriber? Subscribe now, please. Daddy says, please. So, let's see. Joseph says dump Trump, and then King13 says sup dillweed. And I say, if you like what you see, feel free to donate through Venmo at Garza Brand. Cause I'm a simp, full of the simps. And I'm a pimp, full of pimps. Cause I'm a simp, full of the simps. Cause I'm a pimp, full of the pimps. Cause I'm a simp, full of the simps. Cause I'm a pimp, full of the pimps. And I know I'm gonna blow. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna check my fantasy football real quick, you guys. Let you guys know how I'm doing on my fantasy league. If I jizz in my pants, I'm sorry. Free Diddy. Oh, dude, I'm killing it. Oh man, I've been killing it every week. Dude, this week I am definitely kicking some major ass right now. Mark Andrews has 15.6 fantasy points. Yeah, baby. Oh, dude, I knew it. I had a feeling that Mark Andrews wasn't going to be in a slump for too long. He's a really good player. And, yeah, so that's crazy. So let's see what the matchup is. Matchup head-to-head, projected, fantasy total points. So 9 for Siebert from Washington's kicker. Yeah, dude, I'm really glad I picked up Mark Andrews in my tight end position, dude. Fuck yeah. How many touchdowns has he gotten today? He's only gotten 1. But, dude, he's gotten 3 receptions, 66 yards, and 1 touchdown. I mean, he's been targeted 4 times. That's really good. Because look, Mark Andrews is an extremely talented tight end. He really is. And the fact of the matter is, what happened was, I don't draft tight ends early at all. I feel like I stole him. So what happened was, in my fantasy league, Mark Andrews had 2 weeks where he had 0 points and 1 target for each of those and missed them. So what I did was I saw him drop Mark Andrews, and I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to pick him up because they may not have noticed that he dropped him. I think a lot of people were doubting Mark Andrews because he had back-to-back weeks with 0 points. But this guy in my fantasy league, he drafted Mark Andrews really, really early. Like, he drafted him with like the 31st pick in the overall fantasy draft for the league I'm in. So when he dropped him, I was like, dude, you cannot drop a talent like Mark Andrews. One, I drafted tight end like really, really late. I drafted a tight end at like the 130th spot. I've been racking up on wide receivers and running backs because usually you can find an okay tight end on the waiver wires throughout the year. And I didn't think that Mark Andrews would fall on my lap and sit on my cock. That's the thing I didn't see coming. I didn't see coming that Mark Andrews would just start twerking on my cock. And when I saw him on the waivers to pick up, I was like, I'm picking up Mark Andrews, full rizzle, picked him up, and yeah, it's been great. What is my projection, by the way? So currently, my team name is hashtag Free Diddy, winner of the Freak Offs. I'm versing my boy Tommy Callahan, whose real name is Tyler. I won't say his last name, so I do like to help make sure that people's privacy is, appreciated on here. But yeah, I'm projected this week now to get 128.8 fantasy points, way better than I expected, to be honest. I had nothing but running backs that I had to pull off the waivers because my key running backs were one was injured and then the other was sidelined. Not on bye week. Sorry. But yeah, and then dude, to top it off, like everybody that I thought was gonna do okayish has done way better than I expected them to. Mark Andrews getting 15.6 points, and he was projected to get 6.4. That's beating the expectation. AJ Brown so far has 16.4 fantasy points, 13 points for the Texans defense, because they're versus New England, which the Texans defense has really kept them at bay. And then we got Austin Seibert for 9 points. Yeah, I'm really killing it. His team, by the way, the only players who've played so far have been DJ Moore, who got 6 points, Brian Thomas Jr. for 5.7, and Njoku for 8.1 points. Yeah, so it's wild. Oh, and AJ Brown just got more points. He's now at 18.7, so he just got another reception. The game is tied, by the way. So Cleveland and the Eagles. So the Browns and the Eagles are tied 13-13. It's crazy. AJ Brown with 18.7 fantasy points. I'm loving this. Yeah. Hey, AJ Brown, the more you get, the better, man. I support every damn reception you get, brother. Fuck yeah, dude. I love fantasy football. Like, it's an obsession of mine for sure. But yeah, now let's go back to the politics of everything. Yeah, back to your regular scheduled programming. So yeah, overall, I'm just a huge fan of Donald Trump. I really do think he's the best candidate out of the two. I mean, take one look at Harris, and you're thinking to yourself, either. So if you're a never Trumper, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of never Trumpers out there who are obviously not going to vote for Donald Trump because they don't like him. So that's going to happen. But then there's also going to be those who look at Kamala Harris as well. Those never Trumpers are going to look at Kamala Harris and be like, I don't want to vote for her either. And even though I hate Trump, I think they might hate Kamala more. So they're just going to be like, I'm just not going to participate in this. I think a lot of Gen Zers, the people for Gen Z, are not going to participate either. They're looking at Kamala Harris and being like, dude, how the fuck do I vote for this? How the fuck do I vote for this incompetent candidate? She is, I just never thought I'd say this, but she might be, she's not more incompetent than Joe Biden, but she's getting there. And it's wild to me, man. It's wild that the Democrats would rather, like, the whole vote blue no matter who is probably one of the stupidest things in the world. How about vote for a quality candidate? That's my motto. Here's the thing. I would vote blue if Andrew Yang was running. Andrew Yang has probably been one of the few Democrats that I actually would have voted for. Also, if Tulsi was on the Democrat ticket, I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard. The reason she left the left is because the left is too crazy for her. She's like, I'm done with this. You guys are batshit crazy. You're out of your fucking minds. And yeah, so there's a lot of people leaving the left, because Democrats don't represent the people at all, in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at the polls real quick. So we got 20 votes. Subscribe now. Make sure you guys subscribe, by the way. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? Make sure you guys subscribe. I need the subscribers so bad. Subscribe right now, baby. Ooh! Yeah, subscribe, man. Ooh. Subscribe because you love Scientology. Subscribe because you love Tom Cruise. Oh, yeah. But 21 votes, 60. Yeah, Trump is kind of running away with this one. 64% for Trump, 36% for Harris. Wow. Crazy. We need more subs, by the way. Subscribe. You guys got to subscribe to the channel. If you guys don't subscribe, I'm going to cry. Dude, Mark Andrews, though, man. Fuck yeah. Well, the Patriots are looking bad. Oh, hey, my boy Austin Seibert got me another point. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Dude, everybody's getting me points. All the guys that I wasn't too sure if Texans, I knew were going to get me some points, but I didn't expect to get 13 points from the Texans defense special teams. And Cyber, I expected him to get some points, but I didn't expect him to get 10. So hey, we got everybody in double digits right now. Actually, this except the only person who didn't do double digits is Tank Bigsby. Probably a bad idea for me to pick Bigsby though. That's a rough one. But overall, everybody else on my fantasy team is doing really well. Mark Andrews is doing really well. I had a couple duds, but hey, my opponent had a lot of duds as well. So kind of, even though Tank Bigsby was a dud today, I think as long as all my other guys can perform really well, I think it'll be good. But yeah, my opponent is projected to get 98.6 points. I'm projected now to get 131.7 points. Damn, dude. Oh, I got another point. What? Oh, Texans got me more points. I think they got. Oh, I think they probably intercepted the ball or did a fumble recovery. Fuck yeah, dude. Texans defense got me 15 motherfucking points, dude. Fuck yeah. This is so fucking tight, dude. I'm like gonna cream myself right now. Right now, I got 61.7 fantasy points. My original projections were 111.7, but yeah, no. Right now, everybody's overperforming. Mark Andrews is kicking some major fucking ass, and hopefully Mark Andrews gets more utilization. I hope he gets another touchdown, because all those people who are doubting Andrews, I mean, I was doubting him a little bit, but I was like, dude, Mark Andrews is definitely better than everything else I've had to get off the waiver wire, because one, he's at least talented enough to still get put back into the offense at any time. He's a talented player, and just I was actually surprised. My guy in the league, my guy Bo, dropped him. I was so shocked when I saw that. I was like, dude, this is a once in a, because you don't usually get that opportunity. Somebody's early pick being dropped like that, especially a tight end. That's gold, man. Especially when every tight end I had was sucking ass. I was like, I might as well get Mark Andrews because he's, if I was already sucking ass with all my other tight ends and I was still winning all the games because I've been winning I'm on a winning streak right now. I've only lost one game. My record right now in fantasy is 4-1. I stole every single wide receiver in the draft that I could. I even stacked my bench with wide receivers that were really good. But my running backs, I surprisingly landed some good picks. I got Aaron Jones. I got his backup running back as well on my bench for handcuff purposes. And then I got, who else did I get? Let's see. And then, what was my other running back? Oh, I did have Alexander Madison at one point, but I wanted to make room for Tank Bigsby. Tank may not be as good as I thought he was going to be, but if ETN is out for an extended period of time and Tank becomes a starting running back for a while, I'm cool. I'm cool keeping Tank on the books. But yeah, it's looking like I'm definitely going to win this week. My team is doing way better than expected. Honestly, I am surprised. And now it's 34-14. Man, New England's getting clobbered. Houston's killing it right now. Holy shit. Let's go back to the chat though. Damn. Jacob Elmer says Harris is cooked. Sharon says Harris. Okay. PP, my boy PP says, heyo. Jeffrey Beckham says Harris. Grateful Ed says Orange Eagle 2024. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Dude, go Trump, dude. We got 27 votes. 59% of you are voting for Trump. 41% of you are voting for Harris. Let's see here. That's not bad. No, Trump's kind of running away with it again, as he always does in these polls. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, no, I just think that and I've said pretty much everything I've wanted. Well, there's always more to say, but I've said practically everything I want to say about Trump, and I really do think that he is the key to a better economy. I just don't. I don't want 4 more years. Basically, a vote for Kamala Harris is 4 more years of the same crap again and again and again. You're voting for Biden. You're voting for Biden, but you get Biden with tits. Harris is Biden with boobs. Biden with boobs. All right, like that's just. I don't know how anybody can't see it, but oh well. She has the same policies as Biden. She's basically Biden. You know, she says she's going to be hard on the border, but I doubt that. I think we all doubt that. The trust level, the trust factor with her is so low with the American people, it's insane. Put that out there. Putting that out there. Boom. Here we go. Wiki wow, 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 West, Jim Rat West, Desperado, Rough Rider. All right, you guys, I'll be back. I gotta take a number two. I'm gonna take this with me to the bathroom, by the way. Make sure you guys vote. Don't be too naughty in the chat, you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel first. If you guys are gonna be naughty in the chat, subscribe to the channel, please. Be nice in the chat. I'm gonna take it number two. I'm gonna take a deuce. I'm gonna be clogging up my toilet with big old turds. All right. Now keep voting. Vote on this poll. We need votes. I should only be 3 minutes. Vote and subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Ugh. Jesus. Oh boy. Oh shit. I left my drink in the bathroom. Fuck. Fuck. Well, what do you guys think? Well, the chat needs to be. I'd like to see the chat a little more lively, please. No, you guys don't have to say anything, but the more the merrier. I love opinions. Even if I don't agree with your opinions, I want to hear them. I want to hear some goddamn opinions. It's fun. It's fun to hear. But also, you can keep your opinions to yourself. That's fine too. And also, say whatever you want. I could say me. You say mean things, nice things. I don't really care. So we got 31 votes. I want you to subscribe now. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? 61% of you say Donald J. Trump. 39% of you say Kamala makes you holla. Harris. Oh yeah. Okay. The blue raspberry, I'm not a big fan of with the Warheads. I just want to say that right now. So if you ever get Warhead soda, try only getting the green apple, because I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, you might be into blue raspberry. There's that possibility. Stephen Earhart says, I'm voting for the convicted convict. And I am too, baby. I am too. I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. Hell yeah. Bradley Sharp says, how dare you? Blue is always the best. But to be honest, that drink kind of sucks. Yeah, Warhead sour apple's probably the best for sure. But the blue raspberry one sucks. I actually got this from the Dollar Tree. So thank goodness for the Dollar Tree, by the way. But yeah, Bradley Sharp, I refuse to vote blue no matter who. I mean, I came up with something actually the other day. I bet if Hitler time traveled to the future and said he was a Democrat and wants to run as a Democrat, you guys would probably vote for him. That's my thought. I'm assuming that all you guys probably would. Because you guys are sick. No, really, because the vote blue no matter who bugs the shit out of me. It's like, vote blue no matter who. Ugh, God. It's so stupid. I had the blue, it's not the best lol. Hitler was a national socialist, said Bradley. Yeah, he was a socialist. Absolutely. And, it's funny. The current Democrat Party and Hitler have more in common than you think. That's all I gotta say. And my problem with the modern Democrat Party is they remind me of the National German Socialist Party. They remind me a lot of them. And I feel like a lot of them are taking pages out of Hitler's playbook sometimes. Bradley Sharp says they should get some conservatives to go undercover as flaming leftist liberals, and when voted in, do 180s. Let's see. 63% of you say Trump is going to win. 37% of you say Harris is going to win. Let's see. Bradley Sharp says, yeah, dude, the Democrats aren't what they were a few decades ago. Yeah, Democrat Party, honestly, there were candidates in the Democrat Party I would have voted for. Andrew Yang, actually, is probably one of the more recent mentions. Tulsi Gabbard, when she was a Democrat, I probably would have voted for. Um, who else? I mean, I really can't think of too many because there's rarely any good ones. Bradley Sharp says, "Yeah, dude, the Democrats aren't what they." Yeah, I read that. Buffalo Mowing says Hitler burned books about trans people. Sounds familiar. Were there really? I don't even think the term trans was really a thing back then. I don't even. Did they write books about trans people? That's weird. I don't think they did back then. I mean, if they did, sorry if I'm wrong, but I just don't. I highly doubt it. I think he just burned books in general that didn't correspond with his way of thinking, which was warped as shit, by the way. Hitler was a warped person. He was a messed up person, so. Bradley Sharp says they lost their minds on the left. Buffalo Mowing says Andrew Yang and Tulsi are hacks. Buffalo Mowing, you're a fucking hack. You probably think Kamala Harris is actually a good candidate when in all reality you're only voting for her because the mainstream media told you to. Let's see. Grateful Ed says 1930s Germany is similar to the U.S. today. Yeah. Buffalo Mowing says, yes, seriously, look it up. Grateful Ed says the first transgender institute and surgeries were done in 1930s Germany. Huh. Buffalo Mowing says Kamala is an okay candidate. I don't worship my side like you. First off, I just like Trump a lot. I really do. I think he's great. I don't think he's the most moral person in the world, but I do think he's effective and he's good at taking action, good in a positive way. He knows what he's doing, by the way. I prefer competency more than anything. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz represent incompetency, and I firmly believe that Donald Trump represents competency. Another difference between Trump and Harris is that Harris intentionally got somebody more incompetent than she is to make herself look better, whereas Donald Trump got somebody who is more competent. Actually, J.D. Vance is actually a smart cookie. In fact, you could argue that J.D. Vance would probably make a better president than Trump, oddly enough. But the point I'm trying to make is the difference between parties is that, well, not even parties, the difference between candidates is simple. Trump wants competency. Trump wants somebody who would be better than him to take over if, for whatever reason, he can't run the country anymore. And Vance is a great pick, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. And Bradley Sharp says the left going full anti-Semitic is another wild thing to me. Bradley Sharp also says Kamala is not okay. She was a dropout with 6% in the primary in 2020. Exactly. Buffalo Mowing says, why do you like Trump? What policy? One, he wants to close the border, wants to close off the border, make it to where people have to go through legally again. Second, he wants to deregulate there's a lot of regulations that need to be removed that make it impossible for small businesses to survive. And only Donald Trump, I think, can help with that because the Democrats want more regulation, whereas Trump says, you guys have put down too much regulation. Companies like Walmart and, companies like Kroger, for example, can survive those things. They're big enough to survive over too much policy. But for instance, like a smaller supermarket, for example, is not going to be able to survive that. They don't have the resources or the power to do it. You can't have too many regulations. Is what I'm trying to get at. And it comes to a point where if you overregulate, you make it to where if there's too much to comply to, which there doesn't have to be too many regulations. I really don't think there needs to be. I think it's good that regulations exist. Don't get me wrong. There should be regulations. But there comes a point where overregulation is a true thing. And nobody considers that the Democrats have tried to overregulate too many industries and too many things. Grateful Ed says there was also a ton of pornography and porno type bars in Germany. When Hitler took power, he outlawed pornography and usury in the banking system. Okay. Usury in the banking system. All right. And let's see. Bradley Sharp says what the left did to Mr. Kennedy. Oh. Bradley Sharp also says I had a job and could afford to pay my bills. Under Trump, we had no war under Trump. Soldiers did die being pulled out of Afghanistan under Trump. Axis of evil were coming to the table to talk peace. That's true. Buffalo Mowing says, what regulations are hurting small businesses? Democrats are in power now, and new small business licenses are at all-time highs, and no one is complaining about regulations. However, a lot of small businesses are getting free money from the government, is another thing. That's another reason they can live for now. But think about it in the long run. There may be new small businesses coming up, but so what? Just because more people are starting small businesses does not necessarily mean that all those businesses are going to succeed. How many of those are going to succeed? Or how many of those are going to fail because of over policy? Just because there's tons of licenses, how can you say that? You are blind. Ugh. Just because there's more licenses now, that's because people have no other choice. People have no other choice but to start a business because there's not a lot of work. So they're like, well, fuck, how do I gotta start I gotta do something. So they're gonna start a business. So what's gonna happen is when they start that business, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail because they don't have the resources to keep up with half of the things that they have to keep up with as far as regulation, tax regulation, all that shit. It gets stupid. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. I don't know. I get so irritated. Take a look at the fucking comments. I'm so pissed. Bradley Sharp says, let's see, Kubaloo says, Buffalo Mowing being proud of a candidate that has been successful in the past is not worshiping. Yeah, I'm proud of Trump. I love him. Buffalo Mowing says, give me one example of an overregulated industry. I mean, you could say healthcare is overregulated. You could say the financial services industry is definitely overregulated. Telecommunication has way too many rules. It's good to have rules. Don't get me wrong, it's good to have regulations. But there comes a point where there's just too many regulations to deal with. And it all ends up falling back on the customer anyway. The customer has to pay the costs. So, the person who gets screwed in the end is the customer. Sometimes the business gets screwed. But here's the thing, small businesses don't have the power to really compete with the bigger businesses. So if they try to pass those costs on to the consumer's going to be like, well, why the fuck would I buy this with you when I can get it for $5 or $10 cheaper at Walmart? Because that's what happens. Walmart has the ability to still keep their prices low. Whereas, I'm just using Walmart as a general example. There are other big major players who, how do most of these small businesses compete with corporations? I love corporations. I'm glad they exist. But how do you make it to where small businesses can still thrive, is what I'm saying. When in an overly regulated environment, how the hell do small businesses thrive? I don't know. I don't see any real, there are ways maybe, but Grateful Ed said, well then, Hitler started doing methamphetamine along with all the other Nazis and did stupid things like invading Russia without any winter coming. Ended up killing innocent people and getting his, let's see, Kubaloo says, Buffalo Mowing, the energy industry is overregulated. Let's see. Raymond Lindsay says, do you know that Trump has an active bank account in China and he paid $400,000 in taxes to China and he hasn't paid taxes here in 15 years? Yeah, because we have a lot of tax loopholes that make it to where if rich people can write off a lot of things, and even regular people can write off a lot of things depending on what they're doing. Trump owns a lot of different businesses, and there's also things that he can do to write off. He can do tons of tax write-offs here in America. One of the reasons he doesn't pay taxes here is because there's a lot of legal loopholes that were created by people like Hillary Clinton, by the way, who you all worshipped back then when she was running. Um, there's just tons of loopholes, and it makes it to where the rich get richer here, and that's fine. I actually am okay with rich people existing, by the way. Somebody being rich does not hurt me in any form or fashion. It just doesn't. In theory, it shouldn't. It shouldn't have any true bearing on anybody. And just because my candle's brighter than yours doesn't mean that it diminishes the brightness of your candle. Your candle just sucks. Raymond Lindsay says, you sound like an idiot. Raymond, you got anything better than personal insults? Because I can make points all day. First off, your chats are stupid as shit. Let's see. Raymond says, like Donald Trump bought those Bibles from China $3 to make and selling. Hey, if he sells them for more, hell yeah. Raymond says, do you know Elon Musk has a Tesla plant in Mexico? So is Donald Trump going to put tariffs on? Yeah, he'll put tariffs on whatever. If he has to put tariffs on countries, that's fine. Mexico, China, you name it. Buffalo Mowing says, wow, Michael, you were okay with him having an account in China. It has nothing to do with who is wealthy. It has to do with loyalty to the U.S. If it was Kamala who had an account with China, you would flip. No, I wouldn't. First off, people have overseas bank accounts all the time. In fact, Kamala probably does have an overseas bank account. That doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter to me. You think that I would flip over that, but I wouldn't. One, she's already in bed with China anyway, so it doesn't matter. Second, it's like Michael Donaldson says Democrats are morons. I cannot agree with you more. But yeah, no. If he has a bank account in China, big deal. Rich people have bank accounts just about everywhere. He probably has one in China. Probably has one in. He probably spreads out his money into different bank accounts because he's fucking smart as shit. And who knows? Maybe they offer a really good yield to have the money in there. Do you ever think about that? Buffalo Mowing says, you are so wrong. Presidents disclose their finances, unlike Trump. Well, he's the man. He doesn't have to. Kidor said, rich hurt you the most. They are the ones creating the policies with lobbyist money to constantly make more money. Politicians simply stuck their boots because they want more. Yeah, politicians are just like any other human beings. They're all greedy just like you and I. I'm greedy. You're greedy. Politicians are greedy. Should we make it to where that corporations should not be so in bed with government? Yes, I believe that. I think corporations are a little too in bed with politicians, and I think that it does need to stop. There's a lot. I think that even if it were to stop, though, there would sadly be a lot of under the table dealings somehow. And yeah. Let's see. Buffalo Mowing says you guys make so many excuses for him. Raymond Lindsay says you stupid man. Buffalo Mowing says pathetic. Yeah, you guys are stupid. I get it. Whatever. Just the fact says Trump equals Putin. Let's see. Vote for Trump for says Russia. So you just said that Donald Trump is going to put he's going to put a tariff on Mexico and China probably. And yeah, will that affect Elon Musk? Probably, because if he's got a plant in Mexico, then the whole point is to encourage more U.S.-based manufacturing. So I'm for it. I have no loyalties to anybody specifically. I just want to see our economy go back to the way it should have been. The economy's shittier under Harris and Biden. It's going to be even worse, in my opinion, under Harris and Walz, because Harris is no different than Joe Biden. she's the same thing. They're cut. Her and Biden, I swear to God, are cut from the same cloth. Let's see how full of crap you are, Michael. Who pays a tariff? Well, the country paying it has to pay it, and then the cost usually gets passed on to the consumer. So yeah, small price to pay though. It forces China to pay. That's good. We wanted to raise taxes at least. We started to raise the cost of the goods being sold to us, so it's kind of like, eh. Sheldon Neely says, ask the audience to list 5 things that Kamala Harris has done for... Yeah. All right. List 5 things that Kamala Harris has done for the American people. That's a positive thing and not a negative. No, I'm fine with tariffs. They worked when Trump was in office, and they'll work again. So, Michael Donaldson says she's fucked us all. Can't agree with you more, brother. Cheers. Boop. Raymond Lindsay says the Academy is doing great. Stock market, jobs, wages are going up, and you all still block. Okay, first off, the reason the market's going up, by the way, the Federal Reserve, who's been manipulating interest rates this whole time, lowered the interest rates intentionally because they knew that the only way to, first off, make the markets go up was to lower the interest rates. Lower the interest rates, markets go up because money becomes less expensive to borrow. When money becomes less expensive to borrow, more people borrow, and then more people throw that borrowed money into assets like stock and real estate. Just because the market's going up does not necessarily mean it was because of a good thing. It was because the Federal Reserve has been manipulating interest rates this entire fucking time. Raymond Lindsay says, so why are you okay with that? Are you talking about the economy is bad, and when he put a tariff, it's just going to make the consumer have to pay more for the goods? Yeah, sure, the cost gets passed on to the consumer. Okay. At least we're not printing more money. The point is, the more we print money, I would argue that the inflation that Biden caused is worse than anything that would result from the tariffs. Sure, the cost would get passed on to the consumer in some form or fashion, but it would not be as bad as the inflationary forces that happen when you print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars and give it to your overseas fucking countries, dude. Come on. Use your goddamn brain. Anyway, Raymond says she's the vice president. Y'all are so dumb. You know the vice president has no authority to make any final decision, but she still has the ability to communicate with Joe Biden. And she has said throughout that she aligns with Biden. So that's even worse, that she agreed with everything Biden did back in the day. So, enough said. She is, it's so funny. She is just as guilty as Biden, in my opinion. If you have the ability to tell the president not to do something, then do it. And then it might actually help. Michael Donaldson says, Biden-Harris administration kept a bunch of the Trump tariffs. Exactly. Exactly. But what they did also while keeping the Trump tariffs, they started printing more money, putting out these stupid bills that allowed us to print more money and give it to foreign countries. It was awful. None of it was going back into America, by the way. Some of it might have been, but not a lot of it. Cuba Lou says, Buffalo Mowing, we get it. You hate Donald Trump for keeping illegal aliens out of your front door, keeping us out of foreign wars, and making the economy what it was. We get it. Live with it. Michael Donaldson says, she just said she wouldn't change a thing. That's true. It's very true. Just the fact says Trump paid $16 billion farmers due to his trade failure with China. Yeah. Raymond, why am I okay with what? Why am I okay with what? Buffalo Mowing says Obama built Trump's economy and Trump's border while never was built and never was built by Mexico. Only cowards feast immigrant. No, we should not just allow everybody to come through. There needs to be a vetting process. We don't know the intent of a majority of these people coming through. Raymond says Donald Trump is the worst president in American history. It's not even close. Look it up. Look it up. Yeah, no, he's the second best. Abraham Lincoln was the first best president of all time. Second was Donald Trump. And the worst president of all time is Joe Biden. The second worst of all time was Jimmy Carter. And if Kamala actually becomes president, I predict that she would actually surpass Biden as the worst president of all time. But let's see here. Buffalo Mowing says fear. Michael Donaldson says Democrats fought the wall the whole time. Raymond Lindsay says, come on, man. Just the fact says, thank you, Trump, for giving money away since bankruptcy is his forte. Obama rocked. God. I don't know. The polls right now are showing something different. So Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 presidential election? Donald Trump in this poll is at 58%, whereas Kamala Harris is at 42%. And this is out of 52 votes so far. Raymond Lindsay says it's like J.D. Vance trying to tell Trump to do something. Do you think Trump is going to listen to J.D. Vance? Look at the video where Trump pushed J.D. Vance aside. Michael Donaldson says, try to go to any country in the world and see how that goes. We're the only country with an open border. But yeah, it's true. Yeah, most countries would actually throw your ass out if you tried to cross illegally. Well, actually, not even just that, they might even kill you. Buffalo Mowing says, lol, don't put Abraham Lincoln name in your mouth. He would hate Trump and his insurrection. He tried. Actually, on the contraire, Abraham Lincoln would understand if a government got a little too tyrannical. He understands that sometimes you have to rebel against said government if it gets a little too crazy. So, anyway, just the fact says, why aren't we vetting the illegal Russian immigrants? Why aren't we? We should be. Are you kidding me? Absolutely we should be. Are Russian immigrants getting through? Because they are. They should be sent back. They should be deported. Buffalo Mowing says, we don't have an open border, you idiot. Sure seems like it. If we... dude, Buffalo Mowing, you should not be calling anybody an idiot. You have proven yourself so far to be the dumbest person in the room. Are you fucking kidding me? Buffalo Mowing, you are the dumbest motherfucker in the room. Anyway, just the fact says Donald Trump has removed the right for women to choose. Michael Donaldson says a lot of idiots in the chat today. Raymond Lindsay says he's going to lose the women vote so bad. Women outnumbered man 2-1 in this country. Really? We have more women than men? I don't know about that. There's a lot of women, by the way, who actually do like Trump because they don't like Harris. Buffalo Mowing says he would not agree with Trump trying to steal the election he clearly lost. No, I mean you got to question. Hey, you got to question elections, man. Michael Donaldson says no. Raymond Lindsay says, did Donald Trump win the 2020 election? I'm not going to answer that because YouTube might ban me for my actual thoughts on that, but I think you all know what I believe. But sure, we'll say it was free and a fair election. Ugh. Dude, Buffalo Mowing, you dumbass. I gave you 3. You heard me say healthcare, right? You'd say it's basically, it has tons of strict regulations, especially around like privacy and stuff like that, which makes sense. I was gonna say with like energy, for instance, like there's tons of like oil, gas, and renewable energies that's heavily regulated. So I mean, pharmaceuticals, I get it. There's a strict approval processes for drugs, by the way, which I think there should be some regulations towards that, but I think that it's probably gotten so convoluted. It's insane. That doesn't help. Look, too many regulations in general, it's a trickle down effect. Too many regulations trickle down to affect everything at the smallest level. Checking my fantasy football because you guys are making my pee-pee tiny. Damn, dude. A.J. Brown. Holy shit. Gotta check my messages real quick. I see what my boy Billy's doing here. I did have to check my text messages real fast. Hold on, folks. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, I had to jet for a second. Guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. The more, the merrier. It just helps the channel out a lot, and I would appreciate it. Damn, dude. So I've got, against my opponent right now, I've only had 4 people playing. And it's looking real good right now. 15.6 points for Mark Andrews. That game's over. A.J. Brown got 23.6 fantasy points. I feel like he got probably... No, he only had 1 touchdown. Yeah, he had 6 receptions for 116 yards, 1 touchdown. My goodness, man. A.J. Brown, good job, dude. He gets targeted a lot in that offense. And that's just 4. I've had 5 people play. Tank was one of the guys who played at TLA at 2.4 fantasy points. But yeah, Austin Seibert, dude, hell yeah, dude, killing it. Fuck, dude, he got 14 fantasy points today in the loss against Baltimore. 14 fantasy points is great for me, by the way, for any kicker. Texans defensive and special teams got 14 points. That's insane. That game's over. Dude, they Texans defense did not make it easy for the Pats at all. Fuck. And then, of course, A.J. Brown, 23.6 fantasy points. And we got Mark Andrews kicking ass with 15.6. I was basically like, dude, don't give up on Mark Andrews. Also, one of the biggest rules in fantasy football is this, in my opinion, never draft a tight end until way later in the draft. Your goal should always be to stack up at least 5 of the best wide receivers you can get and a good quarterback. What I did was I drafted 3 really good wide receivers first, and then I drafted the best quarterback I could get, Josh Allen. Then my 5th pick was another wide receiver, and then my 6th pick was also another wide receiver. So I ended up getting 5 great wide receivers early. Now there's only 1 flex position, so I could only start 3 wide receivers at a time. But the whole point of doing that was to just get the best of the best early for wide receivers because they're the most valuable in PPR fantasy. PPR stands for points per reception. So that was perfect for me. So, and also, you're probably wondering, why do I draft so heavily on wide receivers first and not try to get any running backs early? Well, running backs, truth be told, they get injured a lot easier than a wide receiver. Now, wide receivers still get injured. Don't get me wrong. But running backs get injured a lot more
than wide receivers because of the hits that they take. The impacts that they take can take them out for an entire season. The impacts that a wide receiver takes can take them out for a couple games, maybe 4 games. Now, they can still develop issues. They can still get injured for the rest of the year. That can happen. But it's still, that's one of the reasons why I go really, really heavy on wide receivers early. And when I go running backs, I'm really smart about this. I have one running back that I can get that has a good enough running back handcuff. What a handcuff is, I'll give you an example. I have Aaron Jones as my starting running back, right? But if he gets injured, who can I use on my bench? Oh, I can use, because Aaron Jones plays for the Minnesota Vikings as their primary running back. But if he gets injured, who else can I start? Oh, Ty Chandler. So I got Ty Chandler as the running back handcuff. What a running back handcuff is it basically makes it to where you can have a running back who can start in place of that particular running back at any time. Right now they're on bye week, so that was kind of a. So my bench is a little limited at the moment because I had to put both of them on the bench. But after this bye week, they'll be free to keep that running back spot all squared away. And this week, I'm really killing it. I'm really happy about the result. My defense is killing it right now. Damn, dude, damn. It's looking like I'm going to kick some ass, though. Ooh. My name is Witty. I'm P. Diddy. Witty, 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 witty. But yeah, dude, my tight end, Mark Andrews really came in the clutch. Everybody came in the clutch, man. Seibert did 14 points for Seibert. 14 points for my defense, man. That's killer. One of the other tips that I have for fantasy football, if you guys want to know, is don't even bother drafting a defense or a kicker at all. I mean, okay, you still need to draft them, obviously. You still need a defense and a kicker to get, but don't draft them until the very, very, very later, like the last 2 rounds. Last 2 rounds, you can then of the snake draft that you're doing, you can then get you can get like the defense, special teams, and the kicker. As far as what you should get first, honestly, if you find a kicker on the list, get them first because they could last you the entire year if they're on a team that's really offensively gifted and gets into field goal range all the time. Me personally, though, I actually stream my kickers at this point. What streaming means is that I just kind of look towards the waiver wire for my kickers and my defense special teams. Because it's like, if there's a really good matchup, for instance, the Texans had a great matchup this week against New England. New England's offense is terrible. And Texans' defense is actually kind of good. So it's like, it's a match made in heaven there. And Texans got me 14 fantasy points, which will probably prove to be invaluable later on in this one. So. Go Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride. But yeah, dude, really way better than I expected, to be honest, on this fantasy one. Like, the 4 players that played today did, all 4 positions did way better than I could have ever imagined. So, kudos to that. I still got 4 more players that still need to play. Majority of the players right now are playing. Oh yeah, actually for my opponent. Some of my players are playing later. Let's see, Drake London's playing at 125. Jamar Chase is playing at 520. Tyrone Tracy's playing at 520. Josh Allen's playing on Monday. Hell yeah. Good shit. Damn, dude, this is gonna be good. I have a feeling. Kirk Cousins, oh shit. Oh man, I have to admit my favorite matchup of the day is gonna be Jamar Chase versus the Giants. That's gonna be great, and then Drake London versus Carolina's shitty defense is gonna be even better. So yeah, oh man, dude, I'm probably gonna break some fucking records today, man. I have the most points in my league already, which is huge. And this is not even my league. I don't own the league, but I won the league last year I was the best fantasy football. I got paid $350. It was awesome. I was the league winner. It's a $50 buy-in. But yeah, honestly, my trick is just, for running backs, make sure you look at the waiver wire for sure if you're really low on running backs. I got a little lucky on running backs more than anything. I mean, honestly, if you pick guys that are involved in their offense, I didn't pick a running back until like a 7th and 8th round. Really, no joke. I just wanted to load up on as many wide receivers as I could that are talented. And oddly enough, I looked at some of the analytics for some of the later round running backs, and I saw Aaron Jones was a good one, and nobody picked him. I was shocked. So I picked Aaron Jones, and then I eventually got his running back handcuff. So even if Aaron Jones gets injured, then Ty Chandler will take over the sole responsibility. And then I got Tank Bigsby. I'm not too sure what's going to happen there. If ETN is out again, which it looks like he is gonna be, then my boy Tank Bigsby's taking over that offense. It's gonna be kind of crazy. Yeah, but everybody except for Tank Bigsby is in double digits, which honestly is pretty damn wild to me. But yeah, I think. Let's see, how good's my opponent doing right now? Oh yeah, the Atlanta versus Carolina game. That one's going to be a very interesting matchup, actually. Check my text messages real quick. Got to make sure my boy Billy, my boy White Eagle. Let's see what he's doing. Mr. Eagle's messaging me. I want to definitely get the Eagle. I think the Eagle and I might be doing a live stream later on. We might be doing some Magic the Gathering. Could even do chess. That would be fun. All right, let's take a look at the comments here. We'll look at some of the more recent ones. Valk Carter says, I stole Trump signs and put them around my liberal school. Raymond Lindsay says, so did Trump screw up the trade with China? Yes or no? I don't know. I think Biden did. That's for sure. Biden's messing everything up right now. Michael Donaldson says, Garza, you're wasting your time trying to convince idiots to think. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't really care if they think at the end of the day, but I am gonna be kind of mean to them if they're mean to me. I don't mind talking to them though. I mean, I'll talk to these. I don't even call them liberals anymore because they're the furthest thing from being liberal. I'll talk to these authoritarians though. I like talking to the authoritarians. You guys are awesome. Raymond Lindsay, you're a great authoritarian. Raymond Lindsay says, so did Trump screw up the... Oh, I already read that. Val Carter says, my school has pride flags. Ada Medeiros says, if anything, I bought my house at 2.5% interest when he was president, and my bank account was a lot fatter when he was in office. Hell yeah, dude. Trump, Trump, Trump. I just don't know how anybody can't ride the Trump train, baby. I love Trump. I really do. I think he's awesome. Anyway, Sheldon Neely says, giving $750 to flood victims shows how much this administration cares. Damn, is that all the administration gave? That's fucking insane, dude. Just the Fact says, why do you think that women and children should be forced to carry children that they do not want? I don't believe that at all. Just the Fact says, fantasy football. First off, I believe that abortion should be in the hands of the state. The state should be the one that decides whether abortion should be legal or illegal. I think abortion up to a certain point is fine, but I do believe once you get closer to the 9-month mark, it's getting into some real morally questionable territory. I'm not against abortion, though, oddly enough. It's tricky. It's like, when does that thing inside of you become a real life? Part of that does matter. Like, if we're really debating this on a philosophical, ethical level, forget about what party you're affiliated with. Forget about your party affiliations. Think as a human being. The mother has rights, yes, but the baby that she's conceiving may have rights as well. The question is, when does it become murder to abort? I think abortion at a certain point is not murder. But abortion towards the 9th month gets really questionable. That's all I got to say on that. I say the women should, for the most part, choose. I think, honestly, women should have choices over what happens with their body. I really do. Just the Fact says, fantasy football says it all. Trump liked his head painted on a quarterback, too. Okay. Michael Donaldson says it's murder. Don't have sex if you can't deal with the consequences. I mean, yeah, it's tough to say, man. It's tough to say. I'm not a fan of abortions, but, like, I will admit, and this is going to sound like a cop-out answer. It's not, though. So I do know my perspective. I cherish life. I really do. And I think once you're getting closer to the 9th month, it gets really questionable. So, look, there's always exceptions to these rules. I believe there should be. Obviously rape, incest, all that shit. I think that abortion makes sense. It's tough to even say those things casually, though. That's questionable. It's all questionable. It all should be debated, in my opinion. Michael Donaldson says it's murder. Val Carter says, what if they are rape victims or have health issues? Yes, like I said, I honestly do believe that if it's going to kill the mother to give birth to the child, and she doesn't think the child should live, it's tough. That's a tough decision for a mom to make. I think it is a decision that she should be able to make without any negative repercussions to her. I believe abortion's I'm not gonna lie, abortion is a very tough topic. And part of me wants to believe it should be in the hands of the states. Because what Trump did when he got rid of Roe v. Wade, he didn't get rid of it. First off, he didn't ban abortion by getting rid of Roe v. Wade. He made it to where whatever rules are in the books on the state level, those are the rules that you need to follow. So if you live in Oregon, I think you're fine to get an abortion with no problem. But if you live in a state like Texas, I think that they have very strict abortion laws. Michael Donaldson says most abortions are for selfish reasons. That's what Michael Donaldson said just now. Um, I mean that's a tough generalization right there. I think everything that we do is for some form of selfish reason for the most part. Look, and also here's the thing. I do believe that you could be selfless and selfless at the same time. You could be selfish for the sake of being selfless. One of the reasons why I invest so much is so I can have extra money, for instance, to give to my brother at any time that he needs it, because he's not very good with money, and he has cats that he has to take care of, and I want to help him with his cats. That's just an example. My brother, it saddens me because I love my brother, but he's following in the footsteps of my dad, who is also financially illiterate as well. My dad is like no 401k, no brokerage account, no nothing. The only asset he has in his name is a house and an overly expensive car. My goal is to actually educate people into realizing that a house, honestly, really isn't much of an asset, and it's a liability. Unless you have home insurance, then I guess you're okay. But a house, at the end of the day, really is a liability. I prefer to have a widely diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds and all that shit. The whole goal is to expose yourself to as many different assets as you can, and your portfolio will, in theory, always be protected in the long term. I also heavily vote against Bitcoin. I also bet against Bitcoin, which is very fun, by the way, because Bitcoin technically is worth nothing. So, Bitcoin also subscribes to the greater fool theory, which is hilarious, by the way. Damn, Broncos defense is looking shitty. Witty. Broncos defense is so I'm looking at my opponent, by the way. So my opponent has 32.7 fantasy points, and my my team right now has 69 fitting 0.6 points, which is really sexy. Sexy. Keep checking for my boy, Mr. Eagle, seeing if he's messaging me. We're gonna probably hang out at the park, maybe play some Magic or something, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, well, I won't even check the poll. We need to check the polls for a second here. Subscribe now. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who will win? Who wins the 2024 election? 61% say Donald J. Trump. Make sure you subscribe to the channel now. And 39% say Kamala Harris. If you don't subscribe, I swear to freaking find you. Find you, and I'll make you subscribe. I won't make you subscribe, don't worry. But no, please subscribe, though. The more subscribers we have, the better. It does improve the channel. It improves the visibility of the channel on YouTube. Obviously, I am trying to get more people to sign. First off, I really do give a lot of good information, educational information about investing, about doing the right things in investing. I think too many people invest without really thinking about what they're putting their money into. And here's the thing. I think if you spread your risk out, it's a lot easier. So I think it's good to have like multiple, for instance, I think it's great to have multiple ETFs, that sort of thing. Oh, shit. Oh, Brandon Aubrey, dude. Did he just get 3 points? I think he did. Yeah, but my boy Tommy, my boy Tyler, his real name's Tyler. He's set to get 99.6 fantasy points. That's a badass amount. And then my boy, me, I'm set to get 137.1 fantasy points. That's insane, man. My guys really came in the clutch today. Huge shout out to like a lot of players, actually. I just realized that Pittsburgh has such an awful. Pittsburgh might have one of the worst freaking offenses of all time. It's just terrible, dude. Holy shit. Let's see. I think Carolina's got the ball first. Drake London, Kirk Cousins had any? Oh damn, dude! My boy Drake London's been targeted 2 times already. Shit, no receptions. That's okay. It's just a rough start. But yeah, one of the reasons why I have Drake London in my lineup is because just how much he gets targeted in that offense for Atlanta. When you have a guy like Kirk Cousins, it's incredible, man. But guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. More subscribers, the better. I got to keep hounding and hounding and hounding and hounding. Pounding. Subscribe. You got to subscribe. Give me money. Valk Carter says Iowa. Michael Donaldson says murder. Just the fact says they don't care about the children. They want to control the factory. Just the fact says I will never subscribe. Please. Just the facts. Since I'm good at giving you all the facts, just the facts, you should subscribe because I'm the man. Anyway, Bo Dangle says every time you're on here, you're wearing the same clothes. Go take a bath and change. First off, I have the same blue shirt that I never change out of. Well, no, I take that back. I got 7 pair. I have 7 pair of the same blue shirt. I'm like a cartoon character. Also, I do realize that consistency in appearance is actually a good thing. So I use clothes that actually make my eyes come out, the blue in my eyes come out. So as you can tell, the blue here makes the blue in my eyes really show. So, and that's huge. So I figured, and also blue is a very calming color. So one of the reasons I like to wear blue is whenever I'm doing anything, blue, like I said, very calming, very easy on the eyes, nothing too crazy. Keeps people relaxed, keeps me relaxed. I look down at my shirt, I'm like, it's blue. I'm relaxed. Anyway. Val Carter says, what the fuck did I just open, Michael? Gulp, gulp, gulp. Val Carter has an O face going. Oh, I don't know. What did you open? I'm excited though, man. We got 40 people watching right now. This is insane. The more people we have watching, the better. You know, is this show made for everybody? I don't know. Mark Valise says you're pretty easy on the eyes, Michael. Oh God, Mark, try not to jizz in your pants, buddy. Just the fact says 39. I don't know. Cut my wings, growing them back today. Tomorrow's a tie. Tomorrow's a bribe. Anyway, politics aside, I'm really not that political. I'm not really Republican. I'm not really Democrat. I kind of go with whoever aligns with me as far as a candidate goes, what I believe in, my core beliefs, my core values. For the most part, Trump aligns with me. He's not the most moral person in the world, but I can look past that. He has a system in place. Sometimes you got to separate the art from the artist. And he's an artist, and he's the greatest president of all time. Sorry. Not sorry. I won't apologize for my Trump sexuality, though. Hell no. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. First, hit that subscribe button if you can. Try to participate in the poll. You know, whoever you're voting for, great. If you're voting for Kamala, great. If you're voting for Trump, great. Just participate in the poll. We love it if you did. Please subscribe to the channel, though. We need more subscribers. Please, 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 and thank you, please. Oh, yeah, subscribe, baby. Subscribe. We need more subscribers. That's all I got to say. Let's see. So 61% of you say Trump daddy. And then 39% of you say Kamala Harris daddy. So Harris daddy is 39% and Trump daddy is at 61%. Polls are starting to shift. Man, Kirk Cousins might actually crumble a little bit. Now we need Drake London though to get some receptions. So crossing my fingers, hoping that my boy Drake London gets a few receptions. You know, hopefully it's a dink and dunk sort of game. You know, he's got 2 misses. He's got 2 targets so far. Nothing going on there. Mark Valise says, what is this channel really about? Because what I've gotten from it's a mukbang, some politics, and some investment talk. I try my best to make sure it's an investing channel more than anything. But I guess really it's because it's become more of a talk show. I do believe politics does, in fact, to a degree, not to every degree, but to a degree, affect the outlook of the economy on the nation. So, you know, like I said, too much regulation screws over businesses. Less regulation makes things easier. You know, there are such things as necessary regulations and unnecessary regulations. I think if you get rid of a lot of the unnecessary regulations, I think it's good. There's probably a lot of shit on the books that doesn't make any sense anyway, and then get thrown out. So. I don't think the government's very forward thinking. I think that's why giving money to the government's a bad thing. I think the government, for the most part, is ineffective and doesn't really do anything of value. It's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Simple as that, boys. Still waiting on my boy, the Eagle. I'm going to send him a quick text message, just let him know that he can come over whenever. Well, right now I'm looking at my fantasy football thing. Drake London's got 0 points right now. Carolina just got a touchdown. What the fuck? Damn, dude. Drake London's pissing me off. So I got Drake London like 30th pick. I feel like I fucking stole him, by the way, out of the draft. And then I got Josh Allen as my next pick. That's another steal. And then after Josh Allen, I think I got Malik Neighbors as my 5th pick. I stole him as well. I got him at 50th pick, and then I got DK Metcalf at like 51st pick. Like I got these guys at a steep discount more than anything. And then I got Brian Robinson Jr. And I picked him 91st overall, by the way. I picked him way later. I picked Zamir. Zamir's been shitty, but Aaron Jones was one I got as my 70th overall pick. My 71st is Zamir. I can't remember his last name, but he's a running back for the Raiders, and he's been rough. Not good. But yeah, dude, my opponent right now, Tyler, is at 95.5. He's projected to get 95.5 fantasy points in total. Wow. All I know is Drake London needs to get some fucking receptions right now, man. They gotta feed the beast early, man. They gotta feed him early. But enough fantasy football talk. Let's talk a little bit more about what you guys are really here to talk about. My boy Donald Trump and my girl Kamala Harris. Mark Valise says you forgot about your occasional mukbangs. Where's that fit into this channel? Honestly, fits in wherever it needs to. I just love eating. I like to eat in front of people. I used to not. When I was younger, I didn't like eating in front of people. But now, I totally am fine with it. I don't know what happened. Sam says, vote Kamala Harris for President of the United States of America for a better life in America. Sam, can I tell you something? The fact that you type that in all caps tells me a few things. Tells me, one, you're very desperate. You're very desperate because you know Kamala Harris is not going to win. And you feel like you're the only hope in convincing people to vote for Kamala. Okay, good for you. Second, people only mock people who do all caps. Just because you're freaking out doesn't mean I need to. In fact, because you're freaking out about nothing means that you're a Karen, and I'm going to give you the middle finger. So nice try, Sam. Nice try. Yeah, 64 votes still in this poll. 61% say Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look how blue my teeth are. It's all blue. Leandro Zuniga says, emoji face, oh, and then thumbs down. All right. You guys are boring me. You guys are making my cock tiny. I wanna look at some of this fantasy football shit. All right, my boy Kirk has 13 yards so far. Got a pass to London, dude. Pass to Drake London, man. What the hell are you doing, brother? Just one reception. Dink and dunk. Dink and dunk. Hell, if you had to pass deep to London, I don't care. Just give me some Drake London points, man. That's what I want. Drake London. Honestly, I'd love to see Drake London have a killer game. I think Detroit is going to annihilate the Cowboys, dude. Cowboys are looking rough. All right, man, this is good. Might go around, walk around the park here in a bit. Maybe I'll bring you guys with me. I'm gonna chill this in the freezer for a little longer. It's nice to see myself winning, though. This is awesome. I love fantasy football. Can't help it. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Oh, Atlanta. 1st and 10 on Carolina's 22. They're probably running the ball quite a bit. That's probably what's happening. Damn, dude, my boy Tyler's down to a projected total of 91.9 fantasy points. Yikes. I do want Kirk Cousins, though, to pass to my boy, Drake London. Dude, Drake London lights it up, man. That's huge for me. It's fucking huge. Because the more fantasy points I get, the better. That means I got the whole league by the cojones. But I got a lot of really good receivers playing. AJ Brown really killed it today. 23.6 fantasy points, man. I needed that. Oh, Drake London finally got a reception. Fuck yeah, dude. 1.7 fantasy points. Get it, dude. Fuck you, Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins, he doesn't get a lot of benefit because he gets 1 point as a quarterback per 25 yards throwing, and I get a point per reception, and I get a point per 10 yards. So the advantage goes to the receiver in these types of matchups. So my opponent, like I said, in fantasy has Kirk Cousins right now, and I have his primary receiver, Drake London. So that's going to be huge. Hell yeah. Looks like I got like blue lipstick on or something. I need to start wearing like blue lipstick to make the channel a lot sexier. Let's see. Dude, honestly, I'm like low on the running back position right now. Like at this moment, I should say for this week. Once I'll be back to normal next week. Hopefully Brian Robinson Jr. is back. But if he's not, I still got Aaron Jones or Ty Chandler as my running back one either way, and I'll just have to figure out the running back 2 situation to the best of my ability. Did they just get a touchdown? Oh, okay, so that's how. Okay, so they got a touchdown because Bijan Robinson just rushed for a touchdown. So Kirk Cousins doesn't get any points from that because he handed it off to the running back. But what's really neat about this is that, Kirk Cousins doesn't get any points. That's good. But Drake London at least got a reception out of the deal, thank goodness. And we'll go from there. Yeah, Drake London's like the number 1 target. So, but yeah, he's already got 7 yards on the books. He's been targeted 3. He gets heavily targeted by Kirk Cousins. So one of the tricks to fantasy is you want to have receivers who get heavily, and I mean heavily, targeted by their quarterbacks. Now, the targets may not always prove to be good. Maybe good coverages. There may be lots of misses. But the point is, if they're really athletic, really talented, and they get targeted the most and they don't have a lot of competition in the receiver room, that's good. But you really want the most talented receivers at the end of the day. So you want to try to stack up on as many talented receivers as you can get. I say at the bare minimum, try to get 5. I lucked out. Actually, I even got Jackson Smith and Jigba. So if DK Metcalf gets injured, and I'm already low in receivers to start, I could put in Jackson Smith and Jigba, and everything will be a-okay. But yeah, a lot of my core receivers are back this week. There's been a lot of injuries plaguing the NFL, whether it's running backs and all that shit, but 43.8, damn. So I have 71.3 fantasy points total right now. My opponent has 43.5. So my opponent's definitely kicking some booty there. Well, at least not kicking booty. He's doing pretty poorly, but he's projected to get 93.8 total fantasy points, whereas I'm projected now at this point to get 135. That's insane. Jim Woodcock says, "You vote Harris, there won't be a United States." That's what Jim Woodcock says. And Mark Valise said something that YouTube retracted. Leandro Zuniga says, "Why are you against Trump? What has he done to you?" I'm not against Trump. I love Donald Trump. Are you fucking kidding me? Mark Valise says, "Whenever you eat food, I tend to eat along with you." Well, as long as I can encourage people to eat, Leandro Zuniga says, "Answer the question. Remember Trump 2024. Yeah, I'm voting for Trump, dude. And even if I wasn't, I'm still voting for Trump because he's the best candidate that we got at this point. Just the Fact says, Leaf Otto says, vote Trump for, oh, Jesus. Anyway, I'm voting for Trump. Michael Garza, I'm a Latino, by the way. I'm a Latino who's voting for Donald Trump. I'm 25% Hispanic, by the way. 75% other shit. My grandpa is from Mexico. Zachary Jackson says, read 2025, educate yourself. First off, Donald Trump did not write Project 2025. He's already disavowed it several times. Just because there are people who have been in his cabinet previously who wrote that does not mean that he has any part of it. It means that they went in on. He probably got rid of them for a damn good reason, by the way. So he probably has nothing to do with them. Working bum says, "What are Trump's policies?" Well, what are Kamala's policies? No, but honestly, Trump's policies, I've said it a million times. Deregulation. He wants to deregulate a lot of industries, making it easier for small businesses to be able to compete against bigger businesses. He wants to close the border. That's a good policy. Leaf Auto says Trump for anti-science. Let's see here. Tommy Long says, I'm confused. Leaf Auto says, great. You never get here if you tried under Trump. Tommy Long says, hey, Witty, a.k.a. Black Elvis. Zachary Jackson says, his name comes up over 300 times. Working Bum says, what is closing the border? Tommy Long says, hey, Witty, word on the basketball court is he switched and voting for Kamala now. I can't believe it. Leaf Auto says, man, I'm a Kamala sexual, all right? I'm sexually aroused by Kamala. Kamala makes you holla. Oh, God. Leaf Auto says, Project 2025 says written by all Trump picks. Zachary Jackson says he killed the border bill. Okay. I'm voting for Trump. I can't another 4 more years of Kamala Harris, which what Biden and Harris have done to this economy is disgusting. It's disgusting, and I refuse to enable that. Just the Fact says, invest better. I'm already a great investor, by the way. I'm fine in my investments. I will, honestly, if a bear market does happen, if a sell-off happens in the market, I just buy more. I have a cash pile that I keep to the side that I use whenever a bear market happens, because it's the best time to get into anything, really. I'm really a dividend investor at the end of the day. I pretty much invest for any sort of good dividends opportunities. Aluja says, dude, stock market is kicking it. Well, of course the stock market's doing good because they lowered interest rates. The Federal Reserve intentionally lowered interest rates so it would artificially inflate the markets. What happens to assets when money's cheaper to borrow is people will borrow that money at a cheaper interest rate and then shove that money into assets like stocks, real estate, sometimes bonds, usually not bonds though. But they put it into safe haven assets. But anyway, the dollar is worthless, but they're making the dollar worse by diluting it. That sucks. Tommy Long says, I love when you talk about stocks and ETFs. It gets me excited. Hell yeah. Mark Valise says, Latinos for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Also, Donald Trump literally trumps Kamala Harris, pun intended. Just the Fact says, are you one of the Trump podcasters who is being funded by Russia? I wish. Dude, I wish Russia gave me money. Dude, seriously, if Russia gave me money, that'd be tight. But no. Russia does not fund this stupid podcast. I don't even call this a podcast. This is just me getting on camera and showing my Trump sexuality. Because I love Trump, dude. I don't know if Trump would want me to support him though, because I think I would help people go towards Kamala more. They're like, dude, if freaks like this Michael Garza guy are supporting Donald Trump, then I might want to vote for Kamala. So I might be doing Trump no favors. Just the Fact says, I love the gas prices. Yeah, you love high gas prices. I get it. Vance admitted, Leaf Auto says, Vance admitted he made up the pet eating story. You want leaders who lie to you? Vance did not make that up, by the way. Tommy Long says, I love the ETF stocks freak off, baby. Woo! Yeah, I would love to have an ETF stock freak off, dude. That'd be tight. Tommy Long says, I love the ETF. Oh, I read that. Whatever. Lol, I wish I was getting 100K a video too. I really wish I was, dude. Honestly, if I got 100K for doing videos like this, I'd be investing that money straight up. I'd be putting that money into as many different investments as I could, like whether it's the stock market, whether it's anything, and just mainly in dividends, because I love safe haven assets. I love assets that grow but also pay me a dividend every quarter or monthly. I mean, I'm cool with either, as long as I get paid something. Aluja says, "Bro, you're the most level Trump supporter I've seen in a while. Actually, just the fact says all traders love Russia. I don't like Russia, by the way." Working Bum says, "Straight trader outing himself." Let's see, dude. Russia sucks, dude. Putin's an asshole. Like, I don't blame Ukraine for hating on Russia, but also Russia sucks, Ukraine sucks, are both terrible countries. Convicted criminal instead of, let's see. But yeah, let's see. Zachary Jackson says convicted criminal instead of Law and Order. Tommy Long says you cannot badmouth Biden. It's okay. He's asleep. Aluja says, oh, he didn't make that up. So all the officials are lying. Just the fact says I pay less than $3 for gas. Great investor. What the fuck are you saying, Just the Facts? Tommy Long says, how dare you disrespect Mother Russia? Russia sucks. Russia sucks ass. I'm not going to lie. I've never been there, but it just seems like a cold place and ran poorly by an oppressive government. Fuck Russia. And to that, I also say screw China. China and Russia are awful. Beautiful countries, I will say this, beautiful countries, poorly ran government systems is all like poor systems in place for government. Aluja says, you know Trump is Putin's best friend, right? I don't care. Look, if Putin and Trump are best friends, at least we're not getting into a war with Russia. I'm not a fan of, like I don't know, like, under the table, like, what are they doing, but, you know. Mark Valise says, are you the white Diddy or the Latino Diddy? I need this answered. I'm both. I'm Latino when it's convenient for me. I am white Diddy when it's, I don't know. Sometimes when I feel like white Diddy, I feel like white Diddy. Tommy Long says they have some cute girls in Russia. Wait, China has a government? Not much of one. Oh, but yeah. How do I tuck my penis? I gotta tuck my penis a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. I gotta tuck my penis a little bit more, a little bit more. Are you Johnny Ray? Well, who wants to know? Are you Stingray? Who wants to know? Who wants to know? Who wants to know? Who wants to know about me? Come on, little thing, look into my eyes. You wanna take a walk with me? Are you feeling dangerous? 'Cause I'm leaner, I'm meaner. Ain't no in between her. Tommy Long says Kamala's Social Security home care is lame and a waste of time. D-Bay says my brain says Trump should win. My gut feeling says Kamala. I don't think Kamala is going to win, dude. The polls are highly suggesting that Trump is far more popular than Kamala. Like, dude, the Democrats know they're in a world of trouble. Even the mainstream media cannot gaslight people into believing that Kamala is even a good candidate. So. Tommy Long says that mass deportation is going to be wild. Possibly. Just the fact says all she has to be is better than Trump, and then that she's done. Okay, how the hell has she been better than Trump? You are fucking high, dude. You say that you're just the facts. You're just the opinions of a small group of people. Mark Valise says we've got to go out, stop being lazy, and vote for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance on election day. Make it too big to rig. Yeah, dude, hell yeah. D-Base says, agree, Mark. Just the Facts retracted their message. Probably because they said something that YouTube didn't like. YouTube, by the way, everybody on the chat, I don't moderate the chat. YouTube does, unfortunately. Tommy Long says, better looking when she is quiet. Just the Fact says, by breathing, she's better. But the incels love him. First off, loving Donald Trump does not make anybody an incel. It's so annoying. I hate that. First off, I believe that if you are a man and you like Kamala Harris, you have low testosterone and like to probably get pegged by women. So that's my thought on it. Just the Fact says this is how fake news happens. Exactly. Just the Facts. When a person like you starts spewing out BS, Just the Fact says I didn't say that. You're projecting. D-Bay says such a rage cope comment. You like DJT, therefore an incel and a bigot. Yeah, I can make the same argument for dudes who vote for Kamala. I really can. Dudes who vote for Kamala generally tend to have low testosterone and probably like to get pegged by their wives. Okay. Am I missing anything? If you can say that only incels like Trump, I can say that only low testosterone men who like to get pegged by their wife like Kamala. So, anyway, Tommy Long says, did you like Obama? Hell to the no. The reason that Trump got elected is because so many people hated what Obama did to this country. Jeff Horton says, I don't and never liked Obama. Just the Fact says, I didn't say that either. Calm down. I will not calm down. My titties are wild and they're full of milk. All right, Tommy Long says, haha. And then, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how long I could do the stream for. It's driving me mad. I might go play some basketball, though. That sounds like a relaxing thing to do. It's getting milky. My milk is spraying everywhere. Let's see how many subscribers we got. 3,472 last count. Oh, 3,479. Thank you guys for subscribing, by the way. If you can, right now, hit the subscribe button, please. We need more subscribers to this channel. The more subscribers we have, the better. The wetter I get, the wetter my pussy is, the better. The wetter my mussy, I should say. You know, hell yeah. And if you guys can, throw some dollar bills at my butt. Mark Valise says, so basically the only clear winner is that there are incels on both sides, and we should all go out and have sex with men or women. Tommy Long says, you have a mussy? What the fuck? So yeah, it's where you tuck your penis in between your legs, but you make your balls kind of like protrude out a little bit, so it looks like a pussy. It's called a mussy. Just the fact says, I really wish you'd transition already. The great investor needs money. I like begging for money. I mean, it's fun. Begging for money on YouTube is awesome. Some people actually give you money. So, and when people give me money, it's hot. Jeff Horton or Bush after he invaded Iraq after the lies of WMDs. Yeah, George Bush sucks. I'm not a big fan of George Bush. Actually, George Bush. Hold on. Okay, so here's the list of the worst presidents in my opinion. Joe Biden's the worst president of all time. Jimmy Carter's the second worst of all time, and the third worst is George W. Bush. Tommy Long says, okay, I learned something new. Husky Mom says, weird. Mark Valise says, what happens when you combine a mussy with a pussy? Do you get a double whammy or something? I don't know what you get. Just the fact says the worst president beat Trump, and then so did he? Did he? You know. I think you know what happened. I'm not going to say anything because YouTube bans me every time I say this opinion. But you know what I really think of the 2020 election. You know. I can't say what I really think because YouTube will ban me. They always do. But on a certain election at a certain time, we all know that there was some... I can't say it. Jeff Horton says, I agree. No, and Jeff Horton says, no, it was blank. I'm going to say blank. Just the fact says, yes, Biden won. Oh, did he? You know what I believe. Let's see. Husky Mom says, Trump's going to be y'all's daddy soon. Shady business. Just the fact says, I hope Dominion sues you too. I didn't accuse, by the way, I didn't say anything about the election being a certain way, but we all know what I really think. I think it's pretty obvious. We all know that a certain type of machine, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to expose myself, but we all know what everybody's really thinking in the chat about the 2020 election. Hey, everybody in the election, what do you think? What do you think about the 2020 election? Do you guys believe it was blank? Or do you guys believe it was okay and that Biden won fair and square? Now, I'm going to give you these options again. Do you guys think the 2020 election was blank? Or do you guys think that Biden won fair and square? We'll see what the people think. People can't get banned on the live chat, but I can get banned for saying what I really believe. Husky Mom says, I don't give a fuck about 2020 Biden and Harris has drove this country off of a cliff. Trump is winning. Hell yeah. Mark Valise says, I feel like we need voter ID, paper ballots, and in-person voting to ensure we have a much safer and secure outcomes. That's what Mark Valise says, and yeah, I think, yeah, voter ID and paper ballots and in-person vote. I think, yeah, it's not, and I think in-person voting, you know, the process can start like it could be a 5-day period where you go there, put your vote in. There's for 5 days of time. Just the fact says Trump is winning, like you have a date. First off, I've got a girlfriend, believe it or not. Just the facts. So you can suck it. I'm 6'1.5". I'm a little chunky, but I'm tall. And my girlfriend loves me. She's not the biggest fan that I like Trump, but you know, there's the alternative of me liking Kamala, and fuck that. I'm 6'1", dude. Tommy Long says he is chunky, but the milk and the mussy are still good, buddy. Thank you, Tommy Long. Dude, Tommy Long in the clutch, buddy. Appreciate you. Gotta defend the mussy. Gotta defend the mussy. All right. All right, you guys. I'm gonna head out. I want to get some sunshine. Tired, a little bit tired of dealing with you guys, but hey, this gets the views. It allows me to interact with the audience a little bit. It allows me to be like, hey, hit the subscribe button. I want you guys to be simps for this channel, real simp subscribers. Before I close this, I want one more subscription out of you guys. One more subscriber. Let's actually, you know what? While we're begging for subscribers, let's end the poll. We have 76 votes. Get your last votes in, everybody who's still watching. Vote, vote, vote. We have 76 votes on this poll. We're going to end the poll here in just a second. In fact, you know what? We're going to end the poll in 15 seconds. 15. 14. I'm going to count slow, by the way. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to end this now. We're ending the poll. Going to get your votes into the poll here. 76 votes on the poll. Can you be the next person to vote? All right, I'm ending the poll now. Ending it now. All right, out of 76 votes, subscribe to this channel right now. Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Who wins the 2024 election? 59% of you say Donald J. Trump. 40% of you say Kamala makes you holla Harris. And that's out of 76 votes. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to vote on this. Appreciate it. Usually people obviously don't want Kamala. It's pretty obvious. I mean, surprisingly, I'm surprised 40% of you all. Seems like all the Kamala voters. You know, it's funny, every time we do one of these, it's usually 75% Trump. I think if we were to have more votes, usually like, once we get to 200 votes, it usually goes 75% Trump, 25% Kamala. In this instance, we only had 75 votes, 76 votes to work with, but Trump still maintained the lead, 59% for Trump, 40% for Harris. Good shit. And still, I think that's going to be an accurate polling. It feels accurate. Not just feeling, I mean, dude, people don't like Kamala Harris. And yeah, there's people who don't like Trump, but like people look at Kamala Harris and thinking, well, she's better. This is the alternative to Trump is fucking word salad Kamala? Hell no. So I'm voting for Trump. That's about it. Well, I'll catch y'all later, though. I'm out. I'm a little tired. I got some shit I got to do, but later, everybody.